Okay, first we are going to do discussion about mothers going to work or mothers at home. Okay, what their preferences are, that is working mothers or homemakers, mothers as homemakers. Okay, so this is discussion under the kids section. This is discussion about mothers. Okay, now we have two boys, Jim and Sam. Okay, now Jim says, Sam, when will the van come? I feel so hungry. So, Jim, little kids always they feel hungry after school. So after school they are waiting for the van. And Sam says, even I, my mother would have prepared some nice snacks for tea. I am just waiting. Waiting to go home. And Jim says, how lucky for you, how lucky you are. When I reach home, my mother will not be there. Or my mother won't be there. Only my maid, or only our maid, I'll say. Okay, only our maid, Muniamma, will be at home. Then Sam says, but your mother's earning, your mother, your mother, but your mother is working and earning a lot of money. Your mother is working and earning a lot of money. And see, when you get, children are all fond of toys, isn't it? So Sam is telling, you can buy a lot of toys. But Jim says, what is the use of toys? Of having a lot of toys. There is nobody to play with. There's nobody to play with. I wish my mother was a homemaker so that I can enjoy talking to her after I go home. I can even enjoy eating her food or eating snacks. So you mean to say it's always good for mothers to be at home when we come from school? Jim: yes, of course. I wish. See now how the children are expressing their likes and dislikes and they are discussing about the mothers. This is how a small child, what they think also matters. Of course, yes, of course. I wish my mother is a homemaker, or I wish my mother is always at home. The van has come. Bye. Okay. Now, if you see two little boys at the age of 7, they are discussing their views about their mothers, okay, discussion about mothers. One child is Jim, whose mother is not at home. he'll always have to wait for his mother to come. Maybe she comes quite late, but she earns a lot of money. She has a nice IT job or something, and this poor child has to go and see Muniamma's face when he goes home. Whereas Sam, his mother is there waiting for him with a smile. When he goes home, she gives a big hug and she just says, how was school and all that she asks him, and he also tells all stories about the school, and then he say, what, you know what I've got for you? I made your favorite bhaji and bonda for you for snacks, and payasam for snacks, and he's so happy. And he says, yes mom, I love you, and he goes and washes. Okay, first go wash your hands and come to eat, she says, and he runs and washes and gets ready to eat. Whereas Jim has nobody to discipline him, tell him to wash hands or anything. Muniamma would have just been in the kitchen, and he comes and he leaves a bag and goes sits in a corner and plays only video games. So, this is a dialogue to prove their longing desire to be with their mothers. Okay, discussion about mothers. Shall we see now? Jim, Sam, when will the van come? I feel so hungry. And Sam says, even I. My mother would have prepared some nice snacks for tea. I am just waiting to go home. And Jim says, how lucky you are. When I reach home, my mother won't be there. Only our maid Muniamma will be at home. And Sam says, but your mother is working and earning a lot of money. You can buy a lot of toys. But Jim says, what is the use of having a lot of toys? There is nobody to play with. And Jim also says, I wish my mother was a homemaker so that I can enjoy talking to her after I go home. I can even enjoy eating snacks. Homemaker means a housewife. Nowadays they don't say housewife, they say homemaker. And Sam, so you mean to say it's always good for mothers to be at home? It's a question mark. Okay, good for mothers to stay at home when we come back from school, when we come from school? Yes, of course. I wish my mother is always at home. The van has come by, and each of them go to a different van because they stay in different places. So, the vans have come, school van, and they go and get into the van. See, this is a small little kids dialogue that we saw, and we will be seeing much more. This is discussion about mothers. We will see many more discussions.